Yes. Background is that the ACL year-round mentorship we have started from, you can also put a paper to hide the light or whatever if you're blocked by that. Yeah. So we started 2021 with 6 founding members, and now we host a mentorship session every month. Especially at conferences, we try to make it hybrid so that we have in-person attendees as well as the virtual people joining from online. I guess today's session, we can start with some icebreakers. Yeah, and maybe we can show by a raise of hand how many of you are sort of undergrad, master's, gap year students, anything before your PhD? Okay, a large portion of us. Great. How many of you are in the middle of your PhD? Great. Okay, we see some social effect, people gathering together. And is there anybody who have graduated from your PhD? Ah, yes, our panelists, yes. Sounds great, awesome. And today we can take in any questions and just also for a survey of question types, since many of you are doing an awesome job having a paper here even before your PhD. Will most of your questions be about grad school applications? Okay. Is most of the questions about how to do good research, choosing a good research topic? Okay. What do the rest of the people care about? Just shout out some keywords. Graduation. Well, all of us care about that. Sounds great. Now let us introduce our panelists who will answer any question we have. Maybe let me first introduce, oh, we can sit here. Yeah. Let me first introduce, Paul, who already started working, take one of the seats, and assistant professor at MIT, working on multimodality. And 1 second, let me see how Wana, does the microphone work?
Yes.
Maybe let Paul also do a 1 sentence of introduction.
Oh, so hi everyone. My name is Paul. I did my PhD at CMU. I was a visiting researcher at Berkeley over the summer, and I just joined MIT last month as an assistant professor. I work on multimodal AI, so how do we ground language to various modalities like vision, audio, and even new novel types of sensor modalities in the world.
Sounds great. And then we have Jieyu, and yeah,
Okay.
1 sentence introduction.
My sentence, okay. Hi, I'm Jieyu. I'm from USC. It's my second year there as assistant professor. My group working on different things, like we are working on the trustworthy NLP or large language model nowadays, we call it. So we have kind of work on the bias perspective. We have AI alignment perspective for the safety. We also are trying to understand the social intelligence in large language models. That's pretty much our group. Yeah, thanks. Okay, yeah, it's finally from my group. Yeah, thanks. I support from your group.
Hello everyone. I'm Wana Ignat. I'm originally from Romania. I came to US 7 years ago to do my PhD at the University of Michigan. I also did a postdoc there. And I recently started as a professor at Santa Clara University in California. So I'm in the middle of that transition, starting as a new professor. My work is on multimodal AI, so working with vision and language. For my thesis, I focus more on human action, understanding, recognition, and I'm really interested in inclusive AI, so models and data sets that work well across different demographics, different cultures, age groups, income levels. So yeah, inclusive AI in a nutshell.
Awesome. And then we have Weijia. Oh, okay, great, awesome. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't find the room. Oh, don't worry, welcome. We're right at the introduction. Let us do one more introduction before coming to Weijia's virtual introduction.
Oh, so hi, I'm Manling. I'm currently the assistant professor at Northwestern University, and I mainly work on large foundation models for vision and robotics. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. And let us switch to Weijia. Can you?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Weijia. I'm a PhD student at the University of Washington. For research, I'm mainly working on language model pre-training and retrieval augmented methods. I'm also interested in studying the copyright and privacy risks associated with language models. I'm so happy to join the session today.
Awesome, great. So I guess today's session will be moderated by Wana, and we will get the questions by a raise of hands. And also me, I am Zhijing, assistant professor, incoming assistant professor at University of Toronto, and now at Max Planck Institute. Yes, I'll give the handle to Wana.
Okay. So yeah, today's panel is a bit different. We used to do this remotely every month or so, and there were different topics like we would focus on in each session. So if you're interested in that, continuing this, we have a program every month. So you just can Google ACL mentorship. Yeah, we have a website, and all the mentorship sessions are recorded and put on YouTube, so you can see them later. ACL mentorship, if you search for that, you can find it on YouTube also. And yeah, so today's session is a bit more different. We don't fixate only on one topic. As I saw, like you have questions about graduation, about research, different career aspirations. So any questions, we can take any kind of questions. So yeah, maybe as the show of hands, like what questions do you have? Yes.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, we hear you.
How did you research and like if you did pivot at some point, how did you go about that?
Okay, so how we found our niche in research, and if we pivoted, how we decided that. Okay. Who wants to take this? Any?
Yeah, maybe I can share something because I can feel my research direction kind of changed 3 times. So I think firstly, when I joined the group, like my advisor, Professor Heng Ji, she's the NLP faculty, and I was kind of the only PhD student, junior PhD student in the group working on multimodality. So at that time, I kind of feel like I'm very lonely, and like other students will just finish these experiments within several hours, and my experiments always take maybe several days. I also feel like I used 1 year to submit my first paper. Like my advisor asked me to collect all the like 15 years of the news website data about like image caption pairs. So like it took a long time for me to finish one single project, while other students just publish a lot of papers. So at that time, I think it's kind of struggling for me whether I should stick into this direction. But I gradually, like when talking to more people, I get a lot of feedback, like this is actually a very promising direction. And then I gradually kind of grow my interest more about like, although it's kind of hard, but it's still some research direction that I really believe in. And then several years later, like after I graduated as a PhD student, at that time, when I tried to do the job searching, it's the first year like ChatGPT came out and it's very popular. And during my job search, like everyone is asking me, do you think NLP has been killed by ChatGPT, and what we will do in the past, like 5 years later? So I basically think about the research I work on, especially about like events or like procedural planning in video understanding. At that time, I kind of feel like I really need to move into this vision understanding to real world. So I try to get a gap year and find a postdoc position. So I actually did my postdoc at the Vision Lab. So the group of Feifei Li and Jiajun Wu's group at Stanford. So I think they have very different mindsetting about all the topics because they are from the vision perspective, and also they work on like robotics. So I basically work with their robotics team. So I kind of like started to submit papers to robotics community as well currently. So I think like for myself, I find this like loneliness again, especially like I'm the only NLP researcher in the vision lab in the robotics team. And I don't think they really understand what I'm talking about, and I don't really understand what they are talking about. So I think it actually also lasts around like 3 to 4 months for me. And I think I gradually need to talk to a lot of people to learn about like what's direction that I can contribute to, and what's the uniqueness for myself, like as a researcher, as a faculty, I need to lead my group too. So I think for myself, I really feel it's very important to find some research direction that you believe. For example, like last year at the similar time, maybe last year, November, I kind of feel like what I really believe is not just the like video understanding using foundation models, but actually moving foundation model to physical world. So although like these new things will be very difficult for you, but you can always get a lot of help from other people. So what I learned is like, when I'm actually very struggle last year about the new research direction, I talked to some like postdoc earlier in that group, and they said, when you try to work on something new, you just feel free to do that because you are in good hands. You try to find some researcher, find some group that are specialized in this domain. So you could also like try something new. So I think for myself, I always try to do something like I really believe, although like maybe I don't have.
Like when you reach out to these people, like I know many of us might not be from Stanford or here at UC. Is there any chance to make them reply to emails or? Yeah, or maybe for all of us, like what is a good reach out from people from not top universities?
Oh yeah, so I kind of feel like at that time I have the similar mind setting. I don't really dare to send out emails. So like for my postdoc, I only send one email to Jieyu because I met him at Neurops earlier. And I didn't send out any other emails. I think one thing I learned is like you are actually much better than what you think. So when I joined Stanford, I actually found like actually there's some faculty like Juan Carlos, he work on vision language foundation model, and he actually know my work. And when I joined, he actually sent a message to me saying like it's good to collaborate because he read some of my papers. So, but at that time, I basically feel like my work is kind of a no name in the vision community. And I only submit one CVPR paper in my last year. So I just feel like people don't know me. But I think like the first barrier is actually the confidence problem. Like people don't really dare to reach out, but actually like it's much easier than you thought. And another thing is like, I think when you try to reach out, you always can try to say something that can connect to your research. So I basically like prepare my Stanford postdoc job talk completely different from my original job talk. So just trying to more connect to their research topic. I think that is very important. So I do feel like for reaching out part, the most important thing is confidence. That's what I learned. Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe, yeah.
And the same question, or should we get other questions maybe? Okay, let's be more diverse questions. Yeah. Other questions? Yes.
I guess as someone who's kind of in that like pre-PhD stage,
As someone from PhD.
Yeah. So like I just finished up a master's program, and now I feel like the current cycle of PhD applications have come on very quickly. So I'm maybe aiming for like next year. So I'm kind of looking to see what you would recommend to like do in this year that would best prepare me for that.
Awesome. Thanks for the question.
You want to, like, I feel like for me it was more luck, and I just went from undergrad directly to the PhD with some industry experience in the middle. But yeah, maybe others were more prepared for this. You want to share?
Like only within 3 months or like? You.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't have.
To role in building up like engineering skills or reaching out to mentors and focusing on research skills or working on personal projects, trying to publish. What do you think is most important, most impactful?
I guess for me, I might focus on the research skill development. Like I think like there are a lot of people doing engineering things somehow in the current timing. Like, but if you want to go for the PhD, like for, at least for me as a junior faculty, I do want the students to have certain type of research skill there already. So it can make the collaboration easier. Like we have similar kind of mindset. So that's only for me. Like people may have different opinions. Like I'm just saying, yeah, from my perspective, I may do that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta do good research, write just a few very strong papers. So not number of papers, but just write a few very strong papers. And ideally work with people who are recognized in the field by emailing them, hoping they reply. And one tip for what gets me to reply is that if you find a bug in one of my papers, either a code or a proofs or a way to significantly extend the results of some of my previous papers, I'm very likely to take that email seriously and reply. So don't send generic emails, but find ways to improve and really build upon previous professors' work. So definitely do good research, write good papers. Don't optimize for a number, optimize for just one or two very high quality papers. And yeah, I think that's something you got to do in your last year.
Okay. Other.
Maybe you can introduce yourself a bit. Like what keywords are you interested in?
Hi, everyone. My name is Keenan. I am from here in Miami, actually. So hearing that this conference came, I was like, oh, I have to join. I just finished up a 1-year master's program at UCL. And for my thesis project, I focused on machine learning in large language models. And that introduced me to all areas of interpretability, trustworthiness, copyright protection. So hearing, I think it was the PhD student at UW talk about privacy and copyright, that's actually really interesting, and I would love to hear more. So I think moving forward, areas in NLP around trustworthiness and those areas are very interesting to me, and I would love to pursue them in the coming year.
Great, awesome. So bring all these keywords and your elevator pitch to people who are in your relevant area. Yeah, and as you have just done, asking the question in such a big session helps improving your impression on others as well.
That's a good point. So if you want to make an impression, ask more questions in the session. So yeah, speaking about that, do you have questions? Yes? We have someone. Oh, okay. Thanks for catching that. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'm Jieyu. I'm second year PhD student at the University of Amsterdam. I actually joined the ACL mentorship section last year too. It was really helpful. So this year I come up with a new question. As I start into my PhD, I found it's really hard for me to find concrete or let's say practical research ideas. My supervisor always like to give very high level advice. Like the topic I'm working on now is cognitively inspired methods to improve language modeling. My supervisor will give me advice like find some cognitive methods of how to find it, really specific advice or stats. I find it really hard to be productive, to find ideas that I can actually work on, that I can actually make the stats to progress. So just wondering can you handle this kind of situation? How can you make progress? Thanks.
I think it's also good if you can collaborate with senior PhD students in the lab or postdocs. They are usually more hands-on than your advisor or advisors in general. So you can try to ask them these questions, like where can I start? Do you have any recommendations? So this could also start a collaboration between you and the postdoc or the senior students.
So there's no postdoc or senior PhD student this direction, yes, and pretty much lonely.
Oh, I see. Yes. Someone, yeah, you said, yeah, you mentioned you were lonely in the PhD.
Suggest 1 to 2 sentence suggestions.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm like asking these media out there, like whether.
You can speak up whenever, yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I feel like I really agree with point owner mentioned, like working with a postdoc and a senior PhD student will be very helpful. They will give more hands-on advice. And also sometimes I just read some papers and try to discuss what the methods proposed in the paper can be improved with other lab mates. And sometimes during this conversation, we can come up with very concrete and better ideas.
Yeah, I actually want to echo what Paul just mentioned. I think it's really about like whether you can find out a baseline and started to maybe fix some bugs, like started to check their output and just like get some concrete experiment done. Then I think maybe you can like get it started. Yeah.
Yeah, another thing is like when I started research, I tried to find a lot of nearest neighbor papers and understand what step size is publishable and how to write such an interdisciplinary paper and so on. Yeah, awesome.
Other question, you were next? Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sesong Lee from Seoul National University. My research topic is like, I'm aiming for AI for all. So I want to include multilingual AI and lower computing resource AI. So this is my two main key topics. My question is like, I noticed that recently almost all of you are like recently got into assistant professor, and I'm really curious about like how is the process and how did you like prepare for that, and yeah, what's the like real world happening?
It's gonna be a very long answer though. I'll try to keep it short. We can also have a one-on-one conversation. And tons of people have, much smarter than me or more experienced than me have written blog posts about it online. So definitely check those out. But at a high level summary, these assistant professor positions are typically due in December. That means if you wanna like start applying this year, this past summer, you should already be starting to think about what your research statement is. And research statement, I say, should summarize the key theme that you're working on. So one phrase with a very good title, what you're working on, and ideally, you want to choose a phrase in which you are the best person in the world. Ideally, so you can pick and choose that phrase. You can make it narrow, but ideally, you want to be the best person. If it's clear that you're not the best person, then you're in trouble because in my experience, the best person probably gets most of the interviews. Second best person gets maybe a half or a third of all the interviews. So try to choose a phrase in which you're the best person, and then becomes this real statement. You should kind of motivate why this phrase is really important, why this research direction should be the future of the field. So think about all that in the previous summer, right? A research statement, teaching statement, and diversity statements are also very important, but less important than research statements, and tons of advice on how to write these statements on the internet. And then you typically apply in December through a list of schools. All schools have their portals for applying. You need rec letters. So try to reach out to rec letters over the fall semester as well. And then you start hearing back in January with Zoom interviews. These are short 30-minute interviews with often a standardized set of questions to filter some candidates. And then February to May are usually in-person interviews. So you usually fly there the night before, you give a job talk for an hour, you meet one-to-one with most of the faculty in the field in that school, and then it's usually a 2-day process. And then you start hearing back in April, May with the results, and you have to negotiate to try to get a better salary or startup package, and then you usually decide in May. Right? That's a rough, quick summary.
I don't think I have other things to add. It's kind of a very standard kind of procedure, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. We actually have 5 minutes left, so we can take another question, and then we're going to lunch. So when we go to lunch, we can split in smaller groups, and then you can continue asking questions to each other. Yeah. So one question left. I guess you want to.
Yeah. So hi, my name is Pavel, and I study at University of Warsaw in Poland. And I have a question. Do you have any recommendations on how to conduct a successful academic visit? Because now I'm looking for an academic visit. I have a scholarship for that, and I want to make the most out of it. So I can, for example, fly to some other country and visit a person and work with them for a while. But I don't know how to pick a good person for such a short visit, and yeah, and just how to make the most out of it. So do you have any experience with that? So I am in my master's degree, in the second year of my master's. So yeah, it's the final year of my studies. And yeah, and I think the visit would be about like three weeks or under a month, like something short.
Any of you have experience with this?
I didn't do visiting thing the other day.
Yeah, I know people who did that, but for longer time, like they stay there for half a year or over the summer, like 3 months. And if it's just 3 weeks, maybe you can optimize for starting a collaboration together, like strengthening the collaboration. So when you leave, you can continue that, because the projects usually take longer, at least a few months. So you want to start something that is serious, and yeah, put those 3 weeks in to work to find the strong connections. Yeah. And how you choose someone, I think it's based on common interests. Like you can talk with them, try to have a meeting online before to check how their style is, if it matches with yours, the research topics, interests, and this way you can find someone who matches yours. Yeah. Okay.
I recently had somebody write to me which was interested in my previous supervisor for similar reasons. So maybe reach out to people who worked in those labs previously, but are not the prof themselves. And then students will give you more detailed answers on what is their style of work, what do they expect, and also start forming the connection. They're also way more likely to respond and yeah, give a very different perspective. So your perspective.
Awesome. Thanks again, David, for adding the comment. Is there any more question? We can take one last. Sorry, the competition is fierce, but we can do more questions.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Pai, and I'm a second year PhD student in the University of Rochester. And I want to ask, what will you do if your work is grouped by other?
Like fully scoped or like very similar? Because a lot of the works are similar and you can build on each other. So what do you mean by scope?
Like the high level idea is grouped by others, and they published the paper earlier than you, and you almost done the work, and yeah.
Or if the audience has any experience.
I guess last time we have similar situation, but not that bad. I mean, like in the situation, so we are still in the progress of the kind of work, but we do see similar work is there. So I think what we try to do is like we try to pivot out a little bit, like trying to find another directions that we can keep working on. But if we are saying, oh, we almost finished all the things now, there's another paper there, I think it's already published, then that might be a little bit hard to like you continue working on that things and make the summation. I guess people will argue like, oh, maybe there's already a paper there, why you're still working on that? So I think you need to add more things into the paper if you do not want to completely just kind of stop there. I guess that's the only thing we can do like nowadays. I don't know whether others have other opinions or suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah, I would just put the paper on archive and move on, and learn the lesson being that don't do work that is likely to get scooped that everybody else is doing, and try to think more ambitious next time.
Maybe you can also try to publish it, but add it to related work and try to find something that where yours is different. So you minimize the risk that the reviewer would say like, oh, your work is very similar to this one, by already adding it to your related work section and say why, like why yours is better in a way. Yeah. Like it doesn't have to be completely better, but still have some novelty there. Yeah, just to save the paper and then move on. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you already get the work done, I guess you can also claim the concurrent work in the related work session.
Yes, I think ACL and all the ML conferences have a policy for concurrent work. So your policy is to get it accepted one shot so that you're still in the valid period. I guess thanks everyone for being here. And two things. One is that for the lunch, because we have a big group, I'm looking for some wrap place, but you can just do whatever choice of food, and we will meet at the yesterday's reception has this riverside part, which is super sunny and nice. And not yesterday night, but now it's super sunny and nice. And we'll just gather around there. And the default place I saw is a wrap place, and it's pretty healthy. I sort of tweeted the place on Twitter with the Google Map link. And before we dismiss, I guess since you know all 5 of us, and if people have follow-up questions, we can walk together and can surround the people. And just in case people want to be more exposed, you can also shout out your name and your keyword, and so many of us can find you as the seed of the lunch together. Any people who want to bring attention to maybe like or what you want to chat about, and who are you open? Yes.
Just Kazoo. Interested in NLP bias, so love to chat more with you.
Awesome. Okay. Yes. Just you can pass it to people who raise their hands.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou. I'm also interested in bias, and I'm also interested in creative tasks and bias in creative tasks.
Hi, I'm Hui. I'm interested in interpretability bias and causal inference in NLP.
Hi, I'm Thomas, and I'm interested in interpretability and analysis in NLP.
Hi, I'm Yuanxi. I'm interested in agents and multimodal NLP.
Hi, I'm Xingyi. I want to talk with Zhijing, Zhijing about how to find and read papers and find the gaps.
Oh. Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel. I'm working on visual language reasoning, and I really want to talk to people about that. If they can give me some advice on getting more significant ideas on how to come up with those that are really effective in the field, not just improving benchmarks.
Hello, my name is Rocktim. I have been working on language models for some time and recently shifted towards embodiment, so vision, language, and robots. So I would like to talk with people who are doing some similar work. Yeah.
So we will see each other near the riverside before the last intro.
Oh, I was bringing it up. Yeah. Yeah, my name is Detravius. My work is more graph theory, and so I guess graph theory applications to NLP.